Hello everyone and welcome to Cricketing with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, I am going to be showing you how to press Siser Brick HTV. A couple of weeks ago, I shared on my community tab right here on YouTube that Atlanta Vinyl had a new product in stock, and of course I purchased it as soon as I could. It is this fluorescent bundle of the Siser brick. I'm going to show you what all of the colors look like and the colors that I'm going to use in this tutorial. I am going to be placing the Siser brick on a 100% cotton shirt, and I can't wait to share my process with you. At the end of this video, if you find this tutorial helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's get started. The materials I'm going to use for this project include my Cricut Explore Air 2, this fluorescent brick bundle, and I'm not sure about the colors that I'm going to use just yet, but let me open it up so you can see what they look like. And once again, I purchased this from Atlanta Vinyl, and I'll make sure it is linked below. So I have orange, blue, light green, yellow, and then pink. So multiple options. I'm going to use a 100% cotton shirt, my green standard grip mat, my pan weeding tool, and the heat press that I'll be using is my 15 by 15 StarCraft clamshell heat press. Now let's head on over to Cricut Design Space. The design that I've decided that I want to use on my shirt is just going to say back to the 80s because these neon colors remind me of the 80s. So what I'm going to do first is go to templates, and I am going to grab a t-shirt, and I'm going to change it to a women's short sleeve medium, and I'm going to grab a text box. And right now the view on my screen is at 25%. I'm going to bring it up to right at 75%, and I'm going to type the text, and I want it to be in all caps, except the to the like this, and 80s just like that. And what I want to do is select all of it, and I want the alignment to be centered. And now this looks, let me bring my view down to 50%. This looks very, very, very basic. And of course, I don't want my shirt to look basic like this. I want to kind of jazz it up a little bit, but I also don't want to use an SVG. I don't want to purchase anything because this is simple enough. And I think the message will be clear that the theme of my shirt is back to the 80s. Now, I was inspired by font that I saw on the Atlanta Vinyl website when I purchased this Siser brick. So I found one that looks just like it, and I'm going to show you how to get it. So what I'm going to do is just leave out of here. I'm going to save this first, and I'm going to save this as back to the 80s in progress. I'm going to click save. And then I am going to navigate back to the font.com website. The font that I found that I like is one that is called Prisma. I'm going to type it in right here in the search bar where I'm hovering over here to the right. I'm just going to type in Prisma. Click search, and it is this font right here, and I can see that this font is 100% free. That means I won't owe anything to the author, and that I can use this font for commercial use if I wanted to, because that means if I use this font, I can, use it if I wanted to sell this shirt. Okay, so I'm going to click download. And then the download folder shows up here on the left, bottom left of my screen. I'm going to click that. I am going to click extract all. I'm going to choose to browse. And then I am going to go to my documents folder. Well, I actually have a folder on the desktop. It just says Delonda stuff, the fonts. I'm going to select that folder, and I'm going to extract it. And then where I see that it comes up, I am going to open this one that is the open type font, and I am going to install it. Okay, so now I am going to navigate back to Cricut Design Space, and I am going to have to click the view and reload, because let me show you, if I try to just find that font, I'm going to click on system font and I'm going to look for that one. Remember, it was called Prisma. Okay, nothing came up. But what I have to do is go to view and reload, so that font will show up in my system fonts in Cricut Design Space. Okay, so I'm going to give it a chance to let the magic happen. Okay, where's my file? There it is. I'm going to bring my view down to 75%, and I'm going to go to font. I'm going to choose system, and I'm going to look for that font again, Prisma. There it is. Okay. And this looks amazing. I love it. And somebody said, Delonda, is there a time when you ever don't love it? I have not found a time when I haven't loved really a project, except one time when I made those sublimated pencil pouches from Dollar Tree. I did not love that. But this is not one of those times. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up, and I am going to make it a little bit bigger because I think this looks really, really nice. And I think I want the width to be right at 10. Okay. And the height looks good. Let me bring the view up on my screen so we can get a really good look at this. Okay, I love it. I think this looks amazing. Let me double check that my file is centered. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is actually ungroup this, and I am going to select the first, let me cancel that. I'm going to hit undo. So I still have it grouped. And instead of ungrouping all of it, I am going to click on the advanced option, and I am going to ungroup to lines. Okay, so I just want to have the first line, the second line, and the third line. So the first line, I actually want the color of this to be the lime green, and I'm just going to choose one that is the closest to that. The second line is going to be orange, that fluorescent orange, and then the third line is going to be the fluorescent pink. And I'm going to just click the advanced right here and kind of just go over here, and that is that. And I think I love that. Now, I'm not sure if I should make the first line orange. Let me look at that. Maybe I'll make this first line the orange, and I'll make the second line the green, the neon green. Yes, I want it like that. Okay, so now I'll select this whole thing, and I will make sure that it is aligned and, well, I always get this wrong, centered horizontally. And I am ready to click make it. All right, so my first mat is going to be orange. Okay, that's going to say back. And then my second mat, I'm going to move this to the first mat. Okay, back to the back should stay up there, to the, like this. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to move this to the right here. Click OK. 80s, just like that. Okay, and I think that is centered well enough. I think it is. Okay. All right, and I love it. And for my base material, I am going to just choose the everyday iron-on setting, and I'm going to use more pressure, okay, because this is a thicker vinyl. And everything that I'm going to do from here will be back on the camera. I have my vinyl on the mat in the same exact place that it was in Cricut Design Space. I have the orange at the top, the green in the middle, and the pink at the bottom. You see that the pretty side is face down on the mat. Now I am going to get my mat loaded, and I have it on more pressure. I'm going to click the flashing C and then check my cut. Before I unload this from my Cricut, I am definitely going to check and see if it cut all the way through, because this material is so thick. So I am going to grab my weeding tool and just double check. Oh, it did. Ooh, it did cut through. So I used the iron on vinyl setting with more pressure. Now I'm going to unload this from my machine and get it weeded out. So the first thing I'm going to do is a pre-press on my shirt, and Siser recommends a 2 to 3 second pre-press at 310 degrees, medium pressure. Okay, let me get a crease in my shirt. So this is how I know where the halfway or the middle of my shirt is. I'll just do a quick press and get a crease down the middle. All right. So now I am going to come down about 3 fingers right there. I'm going to line this up as well as I can. Okay, so I have the design placed on the shirt where I think is centered, and hopefully it is, and if it's not, please forgive me. I am going to put a Teflon sheet on top, and I am going to press this for 10 seconds. And you can tell, well, you might be able to tell, it's not all the way pressed down. What I'm going to do is actually turn the shirt over, and I'm going to press it again from the back of the shirt. Okay. I'm going to do 10 more seconds. All right. And I think that did the trick. I will let this cool down, because the Siser brick is actually a cold peel, not a cool peel. It is a cold peel, so I will come back to the table and I'll peel it and I'll give you my final. Okay, so the shirt has completely cooled down, and I am going to peel it and reveal it and see if we love it. You already know. You already know. Cold peel is so scary sometimes. It feels like you're gonna peel the vinyl off. Okay, so this is the final project, final product, and what am I going to say? I love it. Yes, I love it, Teresa. I love it, and hopefully you do too. I just wanted to do something quick and simple and easy with the Siser brick. Now, if you were making this, you would probably do it better, because you would have yours all centered. I did not do a good job of centering it, but the goal was to teach you how to use it, how to press it, and give you a project idea. What will you make when you use a Siser brick? Share your ideas. Will you do something with the 80s theme? Will you do a Halloween theme? Will you do something, related to the beach? Or what will you do? I'm curious to know. At any rate, if you found this tutorial helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications, because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.